Hey folks, today we're going to continue with Unit 5. We're going to talk about unit rates with complex fractions. Remember, a unit rate is something to the rate of 1 miles per hour, gallons per minute. Up in the top corner, I've got 6 over 2. We could call that 6 rocks to 2 buckets. If you divide 6 by 2, divide the top by the bottom. You have 3 over 1. That means our unit rate is 3 over 1. 3 rocks per 1 bucket. We're doing the same thing today, except we're using complex fractions. Nothing to get worried about though. It's easier than it looks. Now, first off, remember that this bar is nothing but a division bar. Now, what was our rule for dividing fractions? I'll give you a hint. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip, KCF. Now, if I have this complex fraction in this box here, 3 1/2 over 2 1/4, that's our rate with two complex fractions. That's our rate. But remember, we got to get it to a rate of 1, so we're going to divide the top by the bottom. But before we do that, we have to turn both fractions into improper fractions. How do we do that? Remember, if I have 3 1/2, I simply multiply and then add. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. So that gives you 7 over 2. And I can do the same thing down here. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now we've rewritten this rate, or this ratio. Now let's put it to a unit rate. Divide the top by the bottom, or 7 over 2 divided by 9 over 4. And then remember to do that, guess what we do? Keep, change, and flip. Yay! 7 over 2 times 4 over 9. We kept it, we changed it to multiplication, we flipped the fraction. Now multiply straight across. 7 times 4 is 28 over 18. Now, our unit rate, to write this as the unit rate, it'd be 28 over 18 over 1. We can simplify the 28 over 18 to 14 over 9 over 1. So, there is your unit rate. Now, let's look down to the next part. Let's look down at the next part. Mark uses 3 3/4 tablespoons of coffee. Mark uses 3 3/4 tablespoons of coffee to make 10 cups of coffee. He uses coffee powder, obviously. Now, how much would he need to make 1 cup of coffee? In our little box here, it says it's helpful to write out what you're looking for. In this example, we're looking for tablespoons per cups. Remember that the word per means to divide. So we will divide 3 3/4 tablespoons by 10 cups. So you need 3 3/4 tablespoons of coffee to make 10 cups, or 3 3/4 per 10. But now we want that to be a 1, right? Remember the unit rate of something over 1? So how do we get there? Convert that complex fraction. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 3 is 15. So you have 15 over 4 over 10. Is that to a unit rate? It's not. We got to get it to a unit rate of 1. We divide the top by the bottom. 15 over 4 divided by 10. And that's just like dividing fractions. Keep, change, and flip. So we're going to keep 15 over 4. We're going to change it to multiplication. What do we do with the 10? Remember that 10 as a whole number is over 1. So we just flip it. Now it's 1 over 10. Now you multiply 15 over 40. We can simplify this. Divide both by 5, and you get 3/8. And your ratio is 3/8 to 1. or 3/8 tablespoon to 1 cup. There you go. Now, let's take another look. When this example is going to show you is be careful of wording. Watch what's going on, okay? Now let's read the story here. The drama club ordered 15 pizzas for the cast party. If 25 members if 25 members eat 12 and a half pizzas out of the 15, how much pizza did each cast member eat? Okay, so we've got a bunch of numbers here. So you got to pay attention. What's going on and what are you looking for? You're looking for pizza per cast member, right? Pizza per cast member. Pizza per, or each, cast member. How much pizza did they eat? If you said 12 and a half, you're right. This 15 pizzas up here is to throw you off, so watch out. Your rate, or your ratio, is going to be 12 and a half to 15 people. Or I'm sorry, to 25 people. Let me rewrite that. 12 and a half to 25. The reason we're doing it this way is because, yeah, they ordered 15 pizzas, but that's not what we're worried about. They only ate 12 and a half of that, okay? So to figure out what each cast member eats, we have to use the 12 and a half number, not the 15. Again, that's a distractor, so watch out for that, especially on testing stuff. So we're setting it up, 12 and 1/2 to 25 cast members. Got to get it to a unit rate of 1. We can do that by dividing the top by the bottom, but we can't do it yet because we got to convert 12 and 1/2. How do we do that? How do we convert the 12 and 1/2? Remember, you multiply and then you add. 2 times 12 is 24 plus 1 is 25. So you have 25 over 2 over top of 25. Now remember, this big fraction bar is nothing but division, so let's rewrite it. 25 over 2 divided by 25. You're going to keep change flip, and remember that whole number is over a 1. So now you have 25 over 2 times 1 over 25. Now you just multiply. So you got 25 times 1 is 25. 2 times 25 is 50. We can simplify that to 1/2. And our unit rate is 1/2 to 1, or 1/2 pizza to 1 cast member. And that's your unit rate. That's it. All right, let's take a look at a couple of more real quick here. Standard bathtub holds 70 gallons of water. On the average, it takes 7.5 minutes to drain the bathtub. Excuse me. How many gallons of water go down the drain each minute? So that means we're trying to see the gallons of water per minute, right? So it's going to gallons per minute. And if it helps you, write it over to the side. Go gallons per minute. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. G to the M. What's the story tell you? It tells you 70 gallons of water on average 7.5 minutes. So 70 to 7.5. Now, we got to get that to a rate of 1 because we want a unit rate. Can we go ahead and divide the top by the bottom? No, you're right, we can't. We need to convert that complex fraction. So let's do that. 2 times the 7 is 14 plus the 1's 15. So if you rewrite it, you'll have 70 over 15 over 2. And if you don't remember how we got there, remember, multiply, add. Okay, so now we have 70 over 15 over 2 as a fraction. Divide the top by the bottom. Let's rewrite it. We have 70 divided by 15 over 2. And remember, 70 as a whole number can be put over top of 1 to turn it into a fraction. Now, keep, change, flip. And look, I'm going to write it up here at the top of the paper so we remember. Keep, change, flip. Yay! All right. 70 over 1 times 2 over 15. What's 2 times 70? 140. What's 1 times 15? 15. Now, can we divide, or let me say this. Right now, your unit rate is this is your unit rate, 140 over 15, or 140 gallons per 15 minutes. Well, I want to know how many gallons it's going to be per minute. Can I divide that? I can, right? I can go 140 divided by 15. And that's going to give you 9 1/3 gallons per 1 minute. Gallons per 1 minute. Let's look at another one here. Mackenzie ran the Olympic marathon of 26 1/5 miles in a time of 5:45. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 4/5. How far did she run in 1 hour? How far did she run in 1 hour? So we're talking distance over time, right? Which would be 26 1/5 over 5 4/5. Now you got two fractions to convert. It's no problem though. We can do this. We got it. So you take 26 times 5 plus the 1. That's 131 over 5. 131 over 5. Now, 5 4/5 convert it. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4 is 29. 29 over 5. Now, remember, we got to divide that top by the bottom. So that's 131 over 5 divided by 29 over 5. And what do? Keep, change, flip. Yay! So you got 131 over 5 times 5 over 29. Multiply them straight across. You get 131 times 5 will give you 655 over top of 29 times 5 will give you 145. If you simplify that all the way down, I'm running out of room here. When you simplify it all the way down, it's going to give you 4 15/29 miles per 1 hour. So 4 15/29 miles per 1 hour. All right. And you can write miles to the side if it helps you see it. Okay. Pedro. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Pedro grew 4 1/3 inches during a 3.5 month growth spurt. If his growth spurt continues at the same rate, how much did he grow in 1 month? If it grew consistently over those 3.5 months, what was the rate per month? So you're going to have 4 1/3 over top of 3 1/2. Now we're going to convert. That gives you 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 1 is 13 over 3, divided by 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 2. Keep, change, flip. 13 over 3 times 2 over 7. That's going to give you 21. It's going to give you 26 over 21. And remember, that is a unit rate, so that is over top of 1. Can we convert that to show us how many inches? 26 and a half, 26 over 21 you can use, but let's change that up. 26 divided by 21 gives you what? It's going to give you 1 and 5/21 inches over 1 month. 1 and 5/21 inches over 1 month. That was his growth spurt, or that's how much he grew each month. Excuse me. All right, we'll do one more since the video is kind of getting long. Let's pick Joey eating the hot dog competition. Let's skip down to the bottom, okay? So, Joey entered a hot dog eating competition. He ate 30 1/2 hot dogs in 3 3/4 minutes. How many hot dogs did he eat in 1 minute? Again, we're going hot dogs per minute. So, hot dogs per minute. So what did he eat? He ate 30 1/2 hot dogs in 3 3/4 minutes. Well, remember, we want that unit rate to 1, so we got to divide the top by the bottom. But in order to do that, we need to convert first. So let's look at the top. 30 times 2 is 60, plus 1 is 61 over 2. And then on the 3 3/4, that's 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15 over 4. Keep, change, flip. You have 61 over 2 times 4 over 15. That gives you 30. 61 times 4 is going to give you 244. Now, and remember, that is a unit rate to 1. We can simplify that down to 8 2/15 hot dogs per 1 minute. All right, guys. Take a minute if you need to and review some of this. If you're good to go, go start your exit slip. If you have a problem, let us know. For those that do go on the exit slip and need some reteaching, we'll get with you. Otherwise, if you do good on your exit slip,